Hi there, I'm here at Peterborough Milton Golf Club and we have just taken delivery of the brand new Titleist 718 irons. I'm going to hit a few shots today with all of the heads, around 10 shots of each, get an average of all the data, and I'm going to see which club may be right for me, may be right for other golfers depending on what needs they have from an iron. Right, let's have a look at those figures. So just to let you know that the test was done with Pro V1X golf balls and S300 shafts in every iron, so we should get very good figures to compare. We will start with the MB. So on paper the MB is the least forgiving iron that Titleist do. It's a bladed forged club, so it's your better players or your better ball strikers club. It's got a very nice thin top edge, and the forging gives it a very nice feel and a nice noise from the shot. This is a very similar club to what I use, so those figures are pretty much what I expect from my own irons. It's up there at the top in red, so this should be a very good benchmark for me to go forward and test the other irons. So we'll move on to the CB, and that has got a lot of similarities to the MB. It's just got a small cavity in the back, so there's a little bit more weight down low, and it should give a little bit more forgiveness off the off center hits. So it's still a forged club, still got that nice top edge, and both the MB and CBS both 35 degrees. So that gives me pretty much the same distance as you can see there. The CB was spinning a little bit more, so I may have to look into shaft options if I was going to buy the club or going forward. We will look now at the TMB. So this is a club that Titleist had last year, but they only had it in their long irons. So it's a hollow-headed, thin-faced club, so made for high ball speed. So as you can see there, it was 2 miles an hour faster than the MB, partly due to the fact that it's got a lot of tungsten in the bottom, and they've been able to decrease the loft by 2 degrees. So less degrees, more distance in this case. Okay, so AP2s. So we're getting to see a slight cavity back now. It's still a very nice club. You can see it used on tour quite often. And this is where I started seeing quite a lot more forgiveness on an off-centre strike. With that said, it's not a bulky club. Looking down at it, it's not got a huge top line. I quite liked looking down at it. It gave me quite a lot of confidence. And we again are starting to see quite a lot more distance now. I know it's 4 yards, but 4 yards in an iron is quite a lot. And if you are after a few more yards, it may be an option to have a little look at that club. On to the AP3, which is Titleist's brand new club for this year. So it sits in between the AP1 and AP2 in terms of forgiveness, and in my case, yardage as well. This was the second longest club, and it felt surprisingly nice. Again, looking down at the club, I was very surprised that it didn't look bulbous or chunky. And again, in the 10 shots that I hit, the couple I hit a little bit off centre didn't drop down too much in ball speed. We're getting quite a lot more distance now, and again we're down at 31 degrees, so we're 4 degrees stronger than the MB. So again, they've done a lot of fancy work with the tungsten in the bottom of the clubs to try and keep that loft down but the launch up to give you maximum distance. And this is the club that most people are talking about. A lot of people are excited about it. It bridges the gap between the AP1 and AP2, which is quite a big gap. Okay, so AP1, as you can see down there at the bottom, 196, it was a lot further. And again, that's partly due to it's the strongest loft. It's down at 30 degrees, which is 5 degrees stronger than the CB and the MB. The AP1 has got the most tungsten in it, so I think it's up there at around 80 grams of tungsten right down there at the bottom of the club, so it's going to really, even though it's got no loft, well, or very little loft compared to the other clubs, it still gets up there at 17.5 degrees launch, and with the large cavity in the back, off-centre hits, it was hugely forgiving. So if you are after a lot of forgiveness and a lot of distance, AP1 is definitely worth a go. If you're after manoeuvrability, MB might be worth thinking about, and everything in between. As you can see there, they've got all the grounds covered. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you've got any questions or you want to book in a fitting with us, just pop in the shop and we will be happy to help. Thanks very much.